Hi, and welcome to EDUC Education 325 Children's Literature. I need to apologize right off the bat because I can't meet with you the first week. I am going to be at a conference in Minnesota for some training on trauma sensitivity. And it was the only week I could go, and I'm flying from Buffalo, New York to Minnesota back to Palm Springs where I live. And you may be wondering why I'm in Buffalo, New York, but I'm in Buffalo because I started 3 elementary schools. They're 3 charter schools, or I helped to start. I won't say I started, I helped to start 3 charter schools. And I spend my vacations working in the schools with the teachers. And we work on a socially emotional approach to learning, which many of the founders of the school I worked with have said have made the school the way they are in regards to how the kids learn at the school. One of the schools is the #1 performing school in the city of Buffalo. So it's pretty exciting, but I am working in, and I'll tell you more about those schools as we work together. And I'm very excited to meet you. I know I've met a few of you already, but not everyone. So during week 2, the following week, we will have class, and you will not have to work online that week. There are some weeks that you do work online. Those are hybrid weeks, and I'll explain those as we proceed in the course. But this video is to explain what you'll be doing during week 1 in my absence, and you don't have to do it in class. You can do it at home or wherever you'd like to be working on it, but our work is all done on Blackboard, of course, and you'll submit all of our work on Blackboard, all the assignments. So I'm going to walk you through what I'd like you to do for week 1. I'm on the lesson lessons page in Blackboard, and I'm looking at week 1. And during the week 1 module, you're going to respond to some questions about the syllabus. You're going to create a timeline of the history of children's literature. You're going to identify the 8 genres of children's literature and provide 4 examples of books for each of those genres. And then you're going to select either 3 Touchstone Milestone picture books or 1 novel chapter book via discussion group that's going to be discussed in class during week 2. And I'll tell you more a little about that in just a minute. So some questions that are to be answered this week by completing the activities. Have you ever wondered how children's literature evolved to what it is today? What initially set the course for writing and reading children's literature? And what was the first book published for children? And what types of genres categorize children's literature? So we click on week 1. Inside this folder, you will find the information you need to complete the work for this week 1. So the first thing you'll do is view the video, which you're doing right now, of the course overview and the syllabus and week 1 explanation. It's primarily a week 1 explanation and a little review of Blackboard. After reading the syllabus, you're going to respond to some questions posed in a Word document and post that document in the week 1 Dropbox. You're going to use information from chapter 1 of our textbook, and I've included that chapter, I photocopied that chapter for this week only, and you'll find that below this information. You'll need to rent or purchase the textbook, and then you have to create a timeline of the history of children's literature, which you'll find in the chapter that I photocopied. And then you may use a website such as timetoast.com or create your own timeline, but make sure it looks professional, and you're going to post that timeline in the week 1 Dropbox, the link to that timeline. And then again, using the information from the textbook, you're going to list 8 genres of children's literature. You're going to describe them in your own words and then add an image of a book that would be an example of that genre. In fact, you're going to add 4 books of that genre, the images of that genre, and you're going to put that work in the week 1 Dropbox too. Now, the tricky part here, in your virtual groups, you're going to need to meet via WebEx. I'm going to show you that. You need to select a Touchstone book from within the covers of the textbook. Again, I've photocopied the inside cover of the textbook. And if you decide to select a picture book, then you're going to need to select 3 picture books. And if you don't know which ones are picture books, you might have to Google them and find out if it looks like a picture book or tells it's a picture book. If you decide on a chapter book, you only need to read one of those, and we're going to discuss those Touchstone books in week 2. So you need to bring the book to class, or the ebook to class, whatever. You're welcome to bring your devices to all the classes, although I will bring some mini iPads that you can use as well. And then optional, but so you'll get extra credit, is to complete the Getting to Know You interest inventory. I have created one myself, and you'll see that, and you need to post that inventory in week 1 Dropbox if you choose to do so. And I give lots of extra credit throughout the term, so please, if you do the work, you will get extra credit. So here's the week 1 Dropbox that you will post all your work in. This is the document for the questions after reading the syllabus. They're really just some thoughts to ponder and some things I've asked you to respond to in regards to the syllabus. This is the copy of the textbook that we are using this semester, and you will need to rent or purchase or borrow a copy of that book. These are the Touchstone milestone titles of the books from the textbook covers. This is, again, Getting to Know You, the interest inventory I'd like you to complete. If there are some questions on here that you're uncomfortable answering, do not answer them. You do not need to. It's just getting to know you better. And here is my exemplar that you can take a look at as well and get to know me a little bit better. And that's week 1, and that's what you'll be doing. Week 2, I will meet with you again on Thursday evenings at 5 o'clock. I'm not sure the room yet. I haven't heard yet, but by the time you view this, you may have that information. This is Blackboard. This is how Blackboard, and this menu that I just showed you here is an important menu. This will be how you'll navigate through the course this semester. And I'm going to start off just explaining a couple of things. Here's the home page. One of the important parts of the home page is that there'll be announcements. Most of the announcements will come to you through an email, but just in case, you might want to click on more announcements here to see if there are additional announcements that you did not receive in an email. This is the link for the syllabus. If you click on this, you should come up to the syllabus here. If you click on that, I have a weekly schedule laid out for you here, so you know approximately. It may be subject to change, but I'll let you know ahead of time. I don't believe learning should be a mystery, and you should know up front when I have to make some changes or do something. This is the weekly lessons page that you'll find the week 1 lesson on. And then you will find your discussion group here on this page right here. And so if I click on that, you'll see what discussion group you're in and what books you will need to read. There are 8 assigned books that you'll read. You'll be reading more books than that, but there are 8 that you will have to read with your group to discuss. The Touchstone's the first one, and then there will be 7 others. And you're also going to blog about them, but you can read that more about that in the syllabus, and we can talk about that more week 2. Here's a lesson plan's objective page. What's important is how you write your objective in your blog, which you'll be doing, and you'll need to take a look at this. We'll talk about that during week 2 as well. I'm going to skip down to some assignments. The Reader's Response blog is something that I have mentioned in the syllabus and that I do need you to take a look at immediately. We'll have some author study presentations. You'll create a book trailer. You'll create a family literacy backpack. You'll be having some virtual discussions on the weeks that we don't meet and we have hybrid weeks. You will also create a virtual library, and your final exam will be an e-portfolio page for children's literature with all of your assignments and some resources and reflections built in on that. And we'll talk more about that. If you need to know more information about me, please view this page. And if you need any information about the Educational Studies program, you can take a look at the most recent handbook here. That takes care of explaining to you a little bit about week 1 and about Blackboard. I hope you're able to navigate through it and be successful in completing the activities for week 1. Let me remind you, I know you are probably looking at this during spring break, and we start class the following week. And what hybrid weeks are usually 9 days. So it will take you through the first week of class until that following Sunday. And I think that Sunday is March 31st. So the module will stay open until March 31st. You'll have a little bit longer on this one if you want to start during spring break, but you don't need to. You can start on, I think it's March 17th, 18th, whenever spring break is over for you, and you can work that week, or you're welcome to work during spring break and not work the week that we have our first class. That's up to you, but we will not be meeting. Again, I will be in Minnesota at a conference, and I'll tell you all about that when I return. And I'll see you the second week. Thanks for your flexibility and being able to work online versus meeting with me, especially in our first class. If you have questions, don't hesitate to email me. Otherwise, I'll see you online the first week.